Thank you for joining us here in the Media Center at Evian Resort Golf Course. We are here at the 2019 Evian Championship with Celine Boutier, who became a Rolex first-time winner after capturing victory earlier this year at the 2019 ISPS Hanavik Open, making her fourth start of the Evian Championship this week. Welcome back to Evian, Celine, and welcome home. How does it feel to be in France for you?
Yeah, it feels pretty amazing. I feel like I don't really have the chance to go back that as much as I would like. So every time I go back is always special, and I'm pretty excited to come back. I feel like this week I'm not able to stay longer than the tournament week because of the British Open next week and then the tournament we had last week. So it's a little bit short for me, but I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. So yeah, pretty excited about playing here and coming back.
Will you plan to come home and spend some time here with family after the Scottish, or after you're done?
Yeah, I wanted to, but at the same time, I'm playing in Portland the week after, and it's literally on the other side of America. So I feel like I wanted to see my coach as well before. So I'm just staying 2 days after the tournament and then heading back to Dallas.
It's definitely a grind out here on the LPGA Tour. We're getting ready to tee it up the first week of back-to-back majors. What was your preparation like coming into the week?
I feel like I haven't, because I'm playing it for 4 weeks, I haven't really been that intense about it. I feel like my game overall has been feeling pretty good. And then the week off that I had before Dow, I was able to see my coach, but nothing really was standing out. Like I wasn't really hitting horrible, or my putting wasn't that much off, so we didn't really work on anything major. I just had to keep my game going and try to have some momentum.
With the win at the first start of this season, how did that help shape your perspective of the season going forward and for your confidence when you're teeing it up for the majors?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely made me more confident in my abilities. I feel like last year I played pretty okay all year round, but I struggled to kind of have some top 10 finishes, and especially in majors I wasn't playing very well, but getting that first win so early was definitely a relief, especially because sometimes the beginning of the season can be pretty stressful because you want to do so well, you want to start well and get the year going. So for me that was definitely helpful on that side. And then I felt like performing in majors was also another step for me because I hadn't really had that many good results before. So I feel like overall my game is kind of going upwards. Pretty much the top 5 at the US Open, kind of how it helped me over in majors. I feel like it has helped me in my way of seeing the tournament, because before in majors I would put too much pressure on myself and kind of just make things more difficult, because I would think that because it's a major, the course is going to be difficult, so I'm going to struggle, and so I would be in that more like a defensive mentality. And I feel like being able to have a top 5 at the US Open on one of the toughest courses, because it's always one of the toughest courses, kind of really helped me gain more confidence and try to just focus on my game and not really just being in a major and having high scores or whatever it is. I feel like I obviously want to be on the team pretty bad. I know that if I focus too much on the ranking and on how many points or whatever place I need to be, I will not probably make it. It's not the way I like to play golf. So I try to focus more on just the present and trying to do the best I can every round. And then hopefully that will be enough to be in the team after the British. Yeah, just the fact of having back-to-back majors, I don't think is very. I mean, obviously it's the first time that they've been doing it. I don't think it's gonna be too difficult for me, because I feel like overall my game so far It's been pretty steady, and I think because I had, an off week, and then the Dow, that's a team event, I don't feel like I've been really putting too much physical or mental pressure, so I feel like I'm pretty in shape, and I can go 2 weeks in a row. The way I've evolved for the past 5 years, because the first time I played Evian was in 2014, and I was still amateur, and I feel like I was playing pretty well at the time. When I got the invite to play here, I was number one in the amateur ranking, and then I went through a little bit of a slump after that, especially because I was kind of getting too far ahead of myself, putting too much pressure on my game, and I have been working on that ever since. So it's been 3-4 years. I feel like I'm in a much better place, in mentally especially, and then I feel like over the years I've grown in America, but also because I feel like I can be more aggressive and kind of get more birdies and shoot lower rounds. The positive points of living in the States, for me, especially in golf, I feel like I have hugely benefited from the facilities that are available to us in America, the courses, and also the conditions. That it's always amazing. And I also have my whole staff in America, which I had trouble finding or putting together in France. And and then obviously the tournaments have bigger purses, better courses, and I feel like just the environment can only make you a better player. What was my experience like going to university, college in America? So I went to Duke for 4 years, and I feel like there were some positives and negative sides of it. I feel like 4 years was a long time, but it also allowed me to have more time to think about my future and if I really wanted to turn pro, because I think it's a difficult life, and unless you're going to be 100% committed to it, your success rate is going to be pretty low. So I also needed to have some time to figure this out, and getting obviously my degree in case I didn't want to do it. But I feel like overall it was a very good experience and allowed me to grow and learn more about myself and how I like to do things. And I feel like that was something I had to learn, because before I was kind of always told what to do and how things were supposed to be done. And I feel like I had to learn by myself how I like to get things done. And I feel like ultimately that saved me some time when I turned pro.
Since you've come out to the LPGA Tour, what do you think was the biggest learning? What did you learn in that huge learning curve?
Yeah, for me the biggest transition was just like stopping, because it was very strange for me to be able to compete against the players I had always looked up to. So the first couple events I was just so in awe of everything and everyone that I was playing with, that I was kind of more in a spectator mode. I had to learn that I could also belong up there, and I had to pretty much stop comparing myself to others. That was the main thing that I learned, and that made a difference in my game.